Welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen, and my house needs a reset. There was a time where keeping up with the cleaning, I don't know, you know how sometimes you're just in such a great rhythm and other times you're not. I need to get my house back to where I'm just, it's regular maintenance. By the way, I'm really hoping you'll get to see some foliage out the window here as I drive. So if you're looking for some motivation to get your house reset, this is the place, because I really need to do some cleaning and then get myself on a schedule. I preached that in my last video because, as you are well aware, I keep saying it. I'll probably keep saying it because I know some people are new. By the way, hi, my name's Karen, if you're new. But we're in the last quarter of 2024. We've got less than 80 days till Christmas. We have, probably just over 80 days until 2025. And I'm determined to get things going early as much as I can financially for the holidays and get organized and not go limping into 2025 feeling like a huge, failure. I want to, not that I am, and I think maybe remind me, maybe we'll have a live where we just share with each other some of the wins of 2024. Bathroom first. Sometimes it's best for me not to start in the kitchen because the kitchen can easily zap me, because it's one of those, if you give a mouse a cookie, there's just so many areas in the kitchen that could be decluttered or wiped down or cleaned out. There's always something. So starting in the bathroom, which really needed to be cleaned and wiped down. And of course, this point early in the day, you're always thinking, I'm going to get the whole house cleaned up and then it'll be like a fresh start. Well, no, it's going to happen over time. And then schedules have to change because life changes. And so as life changes, or as when we get our most energy changes, so there's biological changes within our own body as we age. There's also environmental changes, schedule changes. And so we have to adapt. And sometimes we can feel like a failure when we are trying to do the same old schedule when the schedule has to change. So it's always good to re-look at your routines and what time of the day those routines will be done, and making sure that it's reasonable to the amount of energy, to your health, and to what's going on in your life, so that you aren't a pile at the end of the day, always feeling defeated because you've set yourself up for failure by expecting more than could possibly get done in a day. And I'm telling you, raising my hand here, I am so guilty of this. And so I really want you to be with me as I relook at my own house, as I get my own house back under control, redo my own routines, as we end 2024. So I'm into the kitchen now, and I'm getting the dishes cleaned up because I'm going to put something in the crock pot, but I don't like cooking in a disastrous kitchen. So I have to get the kitchen under control, get the dishes emptied and the dishwasher filled, get the counters wiped down so that I can feel free and happy to make dinner tonight. So lots going on in the crock pot today. I've probably had 3 times in the last week where either Rachel or Yvonne surprised me by emptying the dishwasher and cleaning up the kitchen for me. Oh my goodness, what a blessing when that happens. So it's easy to get discouraged and feel like nobody notices, but they definitely do. They notice what we do, whether or not anyone says anything, and they would certainly notice if you stop doing, right? So let me know, how are you doing in this season as we switch into fall? Are you noticing that the schedules that you had for yourself aren't working anymore? Are you struggling to get things done, or are you at the top of your game? I go through time periods where I'm at the top of my game, and I go through time periods where I am really struggling, as though I am chasing after a runaway train. So right now, we're a little bit chasing the runaway train, but the beauty of age is you think everything's a cycle. I've been here before. I'm just going to keep doing my best, and I'm going to keep trying to be more wise in my scheduling, cleaning up after in the moment rather than waiting, you know, like as you cook, you clean as you go. I just have to take myself by the reins again. You know, sometimes I'm just not paying attention to what I'm doing, or I have different priorities, and everything is a balance, you know. There's just some times where you got to put it away and let it be a complete disaster to spend time with family. And there's other times when things you might want to do are set aside because we got to get this thing cleaned up. So it happens. It never takes as long as I think it's going to take for an individual room, although trying to take on the whole house is a little bit more than I can do these days in a day. I'm meeting with a friend this morning, and people are sleeping. I'm trying to be quiet, but I knew I needed to use some pork chops. These were $1.40. No, were these 99 cents a pound? They were either $1.49 a pound or 99 cents a pound. They might have been 99 cents because, as you know, I've been buying whatever's 99 cents, but I still have a feeling it was $1.99. Anyway, the recipe calls for 4, but I have 6. I'm going to use 6, and we'll probably have some leftovers. My daughter Rachel's not going to be able to eat this because I am putting butter in it. I'm combining 2 recipes. One was like rice and pork with like a gravy on top, but it called for cream of mushroom soup, which we don't cream of nothing, thank you. So I'm not using that. Another had called for stuffing, so I'm going to make stuffing on the side to add to it, which I think would be great because it has chicken broth. So I wanted to use up this jar of chicken broth that I made homemade. I wanted to use up the pork chops, and it calls for minute rice, which we don't do minute rice, but I wanted to use up some leftover rice that I have in the refrigerator. So about 45 minutes before I serve it, I'm going to add the 2 cups of cooked rice instead of raw minute rice to this and let it all kind of heat up together. Oh, and my battery on my laptop just died. Let's see if I can pull it up on my phone. Might be faster. Actually, no, I'll just go get the cord. No, I'll... Indecisive. Okay. Nope, that's YouTube Analytics. Okay. Dinner ideas. Oh, did I pin it? I hope I pinned it. Oh, yeah, here it is. I did pin it. I just found it this morning because I'm like, okay, we got to use these pork chops. I don't feel like using them for what I was intending to use them for originally, because I'm kind of sick of a lot of things we commonly use for flavors, namely cumin and chili powder. Let's see. Da, da, da. Skip to the recipe, please. And I'm also going to be shredding this, like pulling it off the bone, and that's another reason I use 6. If I am just going to serve pork chops, then everybody would take 1. Just that's how they would do it. But if I'm going to pull it off, they'll eat more. Okay, so we need 2 cups of broth and 1 cup of water, and this is 3 cups of broth, so I'm not going to use the water because I want to use up this broth. Then it calls for a can of mushroom soup. Not using that. A teaspoon of garlic powder. No time to be measuring today. So we're just going to guess on a teaspoon. It's probably more than a teaspoon. A teaspoon of dried onion flakes. I have onion powder. Don't tell my pork chops I won't either. This also, you put cheddar cheese on the top, which I doubt we'll be doing. But you never know. A teaspoon of salt. That's way more than a teaspoon. It was like 2 teaspoons of salt. A teaspoon of salt. And a stick of butter cubed. So that's going in there. And a teaspoon of black pepper. You know, when it comes to pepper, a lot of times less is more for us. Then a cup of water at the end, 2 cups of minute rice, so I'll be using 2 cups of cooked rice. Okay, so that's all the ingredients that I need. I'm just going to stir this around because I really don't want all of the spices sitting on top like that, because sometimes that doesn't go well. So I'm just going to kind of flip these into the broth so that the flavor will go everywhere. Sometimes, you know, I don't know, I picture
of course, get it on the cover. I'm doing great, by the way. This is what happens when you're in a hurry. It takes longer. All right, that's good enough. And then, these will render out, and that will add to the juices. So I'm going to put this on low, and it's going to cook for 7 hours. I love my Goodwill crock pot. So there. Dinner is planned, and most of it is on its way. My dishwasher was empty this morning, so I just want to get dirty dishes put in here, because if I don't, people see all these dishes and think, oh, the dishwasher needs to be emptied, and then they put their dishes in the dishwasher too. Or, excuse me, in the sink, which doesn't make me happy. So, I'm going to clean out this sink, and then I'm going to be on my way. I'm in the car, headed to a meeting with a friend. That's always great if you need to have a meeting and it happens to be with a friend. So I'm so glad I got those pork chops in the crock pot. So I just wanted to give you that process a little bit. So I've been trying to buy whatever meats are on sale. In fact, I need to remember on my way home from this meeting to stop at the grocery store and pick up that turkey breast, because it will go, Saturday will be the last day it's on sale. Today is Wednesday, and I just don't trust myself to remember to put it on the grocery list, although I do look at the flyer, so maybe I will. I don't know. Either way, it would be better if I just pick up the dang thing. And so I've been buying meats that are on sale and just thinking, okay, even if it's not our favorite meat, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to find a recipe that would be palatable to the family, and I'm going to cook the dang thing. And my husband and I have been attacking our leftovers like it's our job. And I've noticed, I'm going to sneeze, excuse me, the girls doing better with leftovers too. So that's been a huge help. I don't feel like we're wasting a ton of food, or hardly any food, very little food. So this morning I was determined to use up pork chops. I kind of mentioned that a little as I was putting them together, but I was a little rushed, so I didn't know if I really explained myself. I can't remember what I had planned for them, but I'm just kind of sick of a lot of the flavors that are our go-to flavors. And I don't want to be tempted to get food out for sure. So either way, I'm like, okay, those pork chops are being defrosted. There are 6 of them, so I defrosted them 3 at a time. And I found I wanted a crock pot recipe because I knew that I had this meeting. I know I want to clean, and I'm going to be a big baby, not a baby, but I'm going to fizzle. I know that about me. I'm going to fizzle. So I browsed through 3 or 4. I was looking at some southern recipes. A lot of them, whenever they say quick and crock pot, they end up with cream of chicken soup and cream of mushroom soup. We don't like cream of mushroom soup. Actually, I don't like cream of anything soup. There's just a flavor, a certain
I'm packaged sort of flavor I don't like. I never have liked it. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's because I didn't grow up on it. But I knew I had chicken broth in the refrigerator because I had defrosted a bag of it, and I had stored those bags in 4-cup increments because that's what you would get in a box of chicken broth. So Rachel wanted to use some chicken broth, and I was also determined not to buy any chicken broth until I had used up what I had made. So I had defrosted it for her, but she only needed 1 cup. So I put it in a mason jar, put it in the fridge, and it's like, okay, now I need to use that this week because I don't have preservatives in that, right? So I thought, well, if it needs to be creamy, I will just add, later on, I'll mix some cornstarch and water and throw that in there to thicken it up. So that's the plan. And then, as I had said to you during the preparation, it called for a cup of water, but it only called for 2 cups of broth. I had 3. So I was like, I'm just throwing all 3 in there because I don't want to try to think of a way to use 1 cup of chicken broth. So that's what we did. And I also was happy it had rice in it because I had leftover rice in the refrigerator. That tends to be something we throw away unless we freeze it. So Rachel had read that, rice doesn't last as long in the fridge as we tend to assume. We tend to assume it lasts forever, and I can't remember what the risk is now. Whatever it is, it caused her to start freezing it. So what she does is she'll take the leftovers out of the Instant Pot, spread it on a plate, leave it for 20 minutes. She spreads it flat on the plate. That helps it cool faster, and also she wants to store it flat. So then she takes it off the plate with a spatula, puts it in a freezer bag, which I can already hear you saying you could flash freeze it and then remove it from the plate, which if she put down saran wrap, actually, maybe I'll give her that idea. Put down some saran wrap, spread out the rice, flash freeze it, and then put it in a bag. That's a possibility. Either way, so she'll freeze it, and then she eats rice just about every day. But a lot of times, if someone else is storing leftovers, it'll get put in the fridge. Sometimes it's because, for example, we just had the steak and cabbage, and so the leftovers with the leftover rice is good. But I noticed the steak and cabbage is getting eaten, the rice not so much. So, long story longer, this calls for 2 cups of rice, and I'm not sure. I might have a little bit more than 2 cups. Either way, it's all gonna go in there. Once like 45 minutes before we eat, I'll put the rice in. I'll see how much room it takes up. Then I'll decide if I want to thicken that broth. Then there was another recipe. So this particular one I used, you're supposed to put cheddar cheese on top, which I actually thought was a little odd because it was like salt and pepper, garlic, onion, chicken broth was the flavoring. Of course, I left out the cream of mushroom soup. But it just didn't feel like something I would personally put cheddar cheese on. So since we love Pepperidge Farm stuffing, and I believe my husband bought 2 bags of it the last time when we had turkey. I'm going to ask people if they would like the stuffing. Part of me doesn't want to use it now because I just remembered I have a new turkey pie recipe that I wanted to try with the turkey breast, and that uses a package of stuffing. So maybe I will save it. I don't know. And then we'll just scrounge together whatever vegetables we have and have that on the side. So that's supper for tonight. I just thought I would share that with you. Also want to share, I'm praying for those in the path of Milton, Hurricane Milton, specifically in Florida. I have 2 sisters who live on the east side, but they are in the path. Also, Michelle from my Everyday Wife Life, she is off the coast. Michelle, maybe you're a good, healthy, are you an hour off the coast maybe? I won't reveal what town she's in, but she doesn't tend to get these things terrible because she's not on the coast, but she is definitely in the path. So I could see now they're saying category 1 by the time it gets to the east side. So she could have category 1 or category 2. So be in prayer for Michelle for my everyday wife life. You know, anyone you know who's in Florida, we are praying, and I appreciate your prayers to include Michelle and my family as well. So, all right. I hope you're enjoying these little chats. That sky, look at that sky. Isn't that amazing? All right, I'm going to drive, and I'll talk to you later.
Quick stop to Dollar Tree, and they have these really cute Thanksgiving plates, and I never do this, but because there's only 5 of us this year for Thanksgiving, I am thinking I am going to buy 5 plates. I think they'll be the ones I just showed you, but they also have these checked ones as well. That's super cute. I might show them to my daughters and let them pick, and then there's also some really cute tablecloth and those little buckets as well. So now I'm getting to my pork recipe. So I got it all together, and when I got home, it was done. It was basically, the pork was cooked through, so I'm getting all of the bones out. I have to say though, pork chops can have small bones too, so you got to be really careful and get all of the bones out. I have to say I didn't get all the bones out, so we kind of discover them as we're eating, just a couple, but thankfully, I don't have any young children eating. And if I didn't know better, I would have said this was chicken and gravy. The pork really took on the chicken flavor of my chicken broth, which was really nice. And I didn't really explain when I was thickening it. I've seen a 1-to-1 ratio people recommend, like say 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to 2 tablespoons of water. I would tend to do more like 4 tablespoons of water to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to thicken. So I am kind of eyeballing this, you know, I'm just using a regular spoon. I actually think I was using a fork. And I'll whisk it in the cold water before I add it to the broth. That's the other thing that I do. And then I'm just going to be dumping rice in until, you know, it was 2 cups, but it was approximate. I just was looking at the dish and how much, you know, looked like too much, and you know that rice is going to swell, so keep that in mind too. If you wanted it to be really juicy, more like a soup, then heat up the leftover rice, maybe in the microwave or something, and then add it right before you eat. I was adding it about an hour, so it was very much like a thick stew, which we loved. If you don't want it to be thick for leftovers, then heat up the rice and pour it over rice. Don't add the rice to the actual recipe at all. That way you can store it separated from the rice, and when you're ready to eat it again, you can be pouring the rice over the top. But this was a definite winner in the house. I would definitely do it again, and it was so easy. You know, I could have done it to the recipe, but it just kind of morphed into its own thing, and I always love pulling out the crock pot and using the crock pot. So next up, you're going to see Yvonne cleaning her room. So if you need to go get any teenagers in your life to watch with you, now would be the time. So proud of her. She did such a great job. She's been battling migraines, and we're trying to figure this out with her doctor. But she had a spurt of energy, and she got her bedroom all cleaned up, and it looked amazing when she was done with it. So here is what the meal looked like in the end, and we added some cooked peas to it on our plate, some frozen peas, and it was super yummy. I could have put the peas in the dish, but we opted to keep them on the side. So this is what it looks like going into the bowl, and it was very hearty and very comfort food for a cool fall night.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay. Good. Put some chapstick on using Aquaphor. This stuff works so well. Okay, this is my brand new room that I just moved into a couple. Actually, like a month ago. So for today, we're gonna be working on my bed because it's messy, and the floor because it's also messy. So It's gonna take a while. But for starters, this is all clean clothes that mom did for me. So I just need to put that away. And then all the dirty clothes I have like over here, but obviously I need to pick up the closet too. So first I'll just pick up my bed and put the stuff that needs to go in the closet. And then I'll work on this. First we're gonna just put my big comfy thing in the closet. Also guys, we literally just had a fire, so that's why I'm wearing this onesie, because it's freezing outside, and also she has like house cold. Woo! I'm gonna take apart my bed to clean the sheets, and then mom already washed my old sheets, so I'm just gonna use that for this. I'm out of breath.
Someone from other countries like.
Oh, and then I need to take care of my lunch bag because that's all food that I still haven't even eaten from like this week. So okay. Okay. So then next I'm gonna work on the laundry. And this all just needs to go in my little box over here. Guys, look who wants to help. Leo. The baby, I love you. Okay. Okay. So my work shirts and another shirt. Leo. And then like my socks and bras and underwear all go in my white closet over there. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the dirty clothes. I'm gonna turn on my fan for a hot little beverage break. Okay, then I'm gonna work on the floor because, as you can see, just gonna bring this over here. Don't tell mom, she's gonna get mad at me. Like, I'm gonna work on all of this because that's messy, and put my shoes away. Okay, this is just clothes that needs to be folded. That can be hung up. That's also gets hung up. It's just shirts. This can just go in the box with the rest of the sweatpants.
This is me when I don't
I don't know how this room got so messy because I literally just cleaned it last week. Okay guys, also I can't reach the top over there, so I got this cute little Juicy Couture step stool at Burlington. I've been obsessed with Juicy, so I just got that. Okay, almost done with his part. As you guys can tell, I have way too many sweatpants. Okay. More sweatpants. I honestly feel like some of this can just go right here. There. Then I'm just gonna put this up here. And then I feel like most of these can just go right here. Because I don't really like wear these too often. Okay, this did not fit up there. But it's okay. Oh, guys, I'm running out of breath. And then these two I'm just gonna hang up. Okay. And then it's supposed to just go right here. Okay, guys. This is my bathrobe that I got at TJ Maxx. It's a cute little like juicy couture one, but we had to hang it up because you can't dry it in the washing machine. So we just had it hung up for a couple of days. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so this I'm just gonna put in the closet. And I'm basically done with that closet. Except for I forgot to put away my Burlington bag. So next we'll work on my bed. Okay, I'm just gonna make room for the stuff that I'm just gonna like put right in on my stool. But first I'm gonna get my iPad and phone away, like out of the way, and put some stuff away here. Guys, when I say my bed is messy, I mean it's messy. Like, this is what I slept on yesterday. This is already washed because Mom just washed this like a couple days ago. So I'm just gonna fold this and then put it somewhere so I can put it on afterwards. I haven't been able to sleep with this because it was dirty. Okay, that was a bad folding job, but it's okay. And also all the blankets here are also clean because Mom cleaned that. Like, really the only thing that needs to be done here is just the sheets, because the blankets are already washed. I'm just gonna put my stuffed animals on the floor here. Okay, also guys, look at how cute this bag is. It's again juicy. So this goes in my closet. Oh. Okay. Hey, here's my deodorant. Okay, so this, look at how cute. This is my little Halloween sheet. I thought this was so cute, so I got it at TJ Maxx a while back. And I even got like the matching set with it. So like the matching frame. I mean, the matching bed sheet. I don't know how to say that. Okay, so that's gonna go in the washing machine. So is this. I'm gonna also just put this on too. Even though I didn't really use it, but it's okay. Okay. These are all clean sheets that Mom just cleaned for me a couple days ago. So I'm just gonna use this. Because last time that I washed those sheets, it took like the whole day. So that way we just already have like clean sheets that I can just pop on my bed. I'm just gonna put that on. Oh, guys, I'm already out of breath. Okay, then I'm gonna just spray this. I don't know if it can, it's not focusing on it, but it's a Sleep Easy Pillow Room Mist, and it has lavender and cedarwood. I just spray it like on my sheets like that, and then I respray it again once I'm done. Okay, I had this blue blanket, but I can't remember where it went. So usually I put a blanket like on top of this, but I don't know where it is, so I'm just gonna put my weighted blanket on top of this instead. I should have put the big blanket on top, but it's fine. So now we're gonna put the comforter on top. Oh, okay. And then I'm gonna put my little Halloween blanket that I got on top of this to cover up the nasty like stain marks. Guys, it's hotter than Africa. I'm taking the suit off. And then I'm gonna just put this up like over here, just in case. And then, since I don't really have like another extra pillowcase, I'm just gonna put this one on one of them, and then clean the other one. Okay, it looks kind of weird, but it's the bean. I'm just gonna put my heart pillow. Actually, I like to put the little ones here, and then the heart pillow on top like that. And then the squishmallows, I just throw them like this. There. And then, don't judge me, but I have more blankets. This is a cute little avocado one. And lastly, my Chiefs blanket. And then I'm just gonna put on my bed. Okay, I lost my spray, but it's okay. Because I'm just gonna spray the Sweet Pea from Bath and Body Works on it. This is all the stuff that I use when I take a shower, and I just put it in this little pink bag because then it'll just be easier to bring it upstairs. And again, this is another Juicy bag. I'm obsessed with Juicy. So this I'm just gonna put in the closet along with this bag here. And then my hair products also go in the closet. Okay, that's pretty much done for that. I did forget to put my bear on my pillow, so I'm just gonna put that over here. Actually, I'll put it over here. Makes it so I have no room. Oh, makes it so I have no room on my bed, but it's okay. I can still fit in my bed. Then I'm gonna just put my slippers. Guys, when I say I'm obsessed with Juicy, I mean I'm obsessed. I'm gonna put these in the closet. Then I have more stuff under my bed. My slippers. This can just go in the trash. This can go in my closet. More shoes that I need to put away. Just gonna work over here. This I'm just gonna put by the door, so I remember to bring it out. And this I'm just gonna put right here. This is just gonna go in here, even though this here is a mess, but whatever. This I need to take out because it needs to be cleaned. This is all just trash. This can leave the room. There's some trash on this. Guys, look at how cute. This is a little mini fan. And it literally blows air. Oh, it's so nice. Oh. Oh, yeah. The room looks much better. I'm gonna sweep and then like Swiffer the floor, so I'll be back.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance? Oh, I wish it was me. Every night when I close my eyes, I see beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me too. Later, it comes later, dear. For many of us, I promise you that we learn through the wrongs, and even the rough can be sweet. Just close your eyes and know beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty lives in me It's gonna take some time to get there. I don't care. I'm in for the fight. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah. See, it still works because I got more. That's how my room looks now. So, it's obviously a little slippery. Whoops. We lost some guys. Okay, that's pretty much good for that. So yeah, I'm all done. Thanks for watching, guys.
Beauty lives in me. I know I don't yet know it, so I trust you when you say that beauty